As students prepare to head back to school, families are spending big bucks on supplies and tuition, placing an increased financial burden on parents and students alike. With us here today to talk about simple steps on how to maintain back-to-school costs is Doyle Williams, Executive Vice President of Country Financial. Doyle, what are some simple steps parents can take to avoid overspending as they prepare to send their children back to school?
The most basic advice is have a budget. Start with that budget, know what you're going to spend, stick to it. Second, especially with young children, don't be afraid to share that budget with the kids. Let them know, hey, we're going shopping, here's what we have to spend. And in fact, when you're at the store, maybe make a game of it, have especially the young kids help you tally what's being spent as you go along. So they kind of understand the value of money, what things cost, and maybe some basic math and money skills as they go along. And then, with kids, make sure you're shopping at the right time. The best time to buy Christmas gifts is after the Christmas season. So you're going to do this every year. Maybe shop ahead a year if you can. So those are some of the basic things.
What are some things students need to think about as they head back to college?
Besides all the other concerns, they probably need to review their insurance protection. So are they taking their car back to college? If they are, let's make sure that it's properly covered. Let's make sure it's properly serviced. You can get it serviced at home a lot easier than you can at college. And then if they are taking a vehicle, parents probably need to have a conversation with their children about the responsibilities that come with car ownership. The fact that letting somebody else drive that vehicle imposes a liability on them. So make sure they talk about that and understand that. And then on the property side, if they're going to a dorm, typically if the parents have a homeowner's policy, that home policy will protect the student's dormitory belongings. But if the child is going off on their own to an apartment, for example, then they'll probably need their own tenant policy, a renter's policy, which are very affordable. But make sure that those are in place in case anything is damaged or stolen.
Doyle, before college students rush out and get that student loan, what should they keep in mind before taking one out?
Make sure they have looked at all options. Basically there are 4 options for paying for college. Scholarships, drawing down your savings, whatever you've saved for college, and then using current income, and then finally loans. And as you think about loans, college kids shouldn't feel guilty about taking out a loan. The latest data shows that 67% of bachelor degree holders had to use student loans to get through college. So it is very, very common. Once you've made the decision that you need a loan, then make sure you get the best deal. The place to start is make sure you apply for FAFSA, which is basically the federal program for qualifying for a federal student loan. You want to do that first. Typically, they are going to be better deals than a private loan, better deals in the fact that they are going to be a lower interest rate and a fixed interest rate and a little more flexible terms. Many times they will subsidize the interest rate while you're still in college, so you're not accruing additional debt while you're going through school. Go through that first. If that's not working, then you can go to the private market for a student loan. There are a number of options. Just make sure you understand what you are getting into. With a private loan, typically going to be variable interest rates. The terms are going to be a little tighter. So make sure you ask questions about that loan. What is the term? What is the interest rate? Is it fixed? Is it variable? Can you consolidate? Can you prepay? All of those just basic money skills. Make sure they know what they're getting.
What are some simple steps parents can take to start saving for college early on?
The biggest thing is start today. It is a long road from diapers to diploma. Let compounding interest work for you. So even if it's a very small amount, getting started with something is better than nothing. It will help when it's time for that student to go off to school. And there are a lot of good options. Yes, you got the simple savings accounts. You can just set aside money in a Roth IRA, or there are a number of specifically designed college saving vehicles out there. 529 plans, which provide either prepaid tuition or an investment account for using some tax deferral to help, and then the money coming out tax-free when it's used for higher ed, and then some of the smaller Coverdale accounts. Point being, there's a lot of good options. Talk to your advisor, find one that works for you.
Doyle, is there anything else parents need to consider during the back-to-school season?
Don't forget about themselves. That, it's so easy to get caught up in doing the best for your child. We want them all to go to Ivy League schools, and we can get too caught up in that, and to the point where we damage our own financial future. Most parents are also saving for their own retirement. Don't lose sight of that. So keep that in mind as you go forward, and make those plans, set money aside, be, I guess, reasonable in your support for your kids. Also, be cautious about co-signing loans for the federal loans for your kids or their apartments. It's okay to do so, but just make sure if your son or daughter cannot meet the obligations of those loans or leases, you are responsible. Those are legally binding documents. So just go in with your eyes wide open.
Where can parents and students go to learn more information?
I suggest they go to takesimplesteps.com, and they'll learn a lot about this topic and others.
I'd like to thank you for taking the time today to talk with us. Have a good day.
You're very welcome. Thank you.